American political commentator. Could be on the docket. You know, that's just how it is. She's not a teen. She's 28. Early report from the police was wrong. Okay.
Ready to take you now to the press conference where we're going to learn much more from authorities.
Nashville Fire Department, who will talk about the fire department's actions in regard to this morning's call. This is going to be a brief update as to what has occurred. There will be more from this spot later in the morning with Chief John Drake and others. At 10:13 this morning, the police department received a call of an active shooter inside Covenant School, Covenant Presbyterian Church. The police department response was swift. Officers entered the first story of the school, began clearing it. They heard shots coming from the second level. They immediately went to the gunfire. When the officers got to the second level, they saw a shooter, a female, who was firing. The officers engaged her. She was fatally shot by responding police officers. There was a 5-member team who was on the second floor at that time. 2 individuals from that 5-member team opened fire on the shooter. We know at this point that this shooter is a female. She appears to be in her teens, although
apparently she's a little bit older. She's actually not in her teens. She's older. She's 28.
Identification has not been confirmed at this juncture. We know that she was armed with at least 2 assault-type rifles and a handgun. We are efforting now to identify her.
We did our job. Please clap. I mean, first of all, in the United States of America, when police actually do their jobs and they're like violent in the one instance where they're supposed to, it is worthy of celebration. It is worthy of praise because they're usually not, okay? So remember, in a lot of mass shooting incidents, okay, in a lot of mass shooting situations, cops are rarely the ones who actually end up apprehending the shooter. More often than not, the cops wait until the shooter kills themselves or, in the overwhelming majority of mass shootings that actually end up with someone like stopping the mass shooting, it's usually one of the people there that's unarmed that ends up apprehending the shooter. So just remember that, just understand that. But having said that, given that it's ultra rare that the cops actually do the violence in the right fucking place that they're supposed to be doing, the exercise of the state monopoly on violence, I'm gonna go ahead and say a good job, guys. It's not a Uvalde moment, so at least there's that. So that's good. That's good to. That's good to do. Good job. Now that we have at least now that we've given our props to the police, let's talk about what should have happened that could have avoided this situation. Well, let me explain. Okay? It's called legislation. It's called gun control. It's called reducing the number of guns that are fucking in the streets. Okay? Reducing the number of guns that are in circulation. It's called gun control. I say this as someone who loves shooting guns. I think guns are very fun, but it's also literally, a tool that is built to kill, to end life, okay? To shoot organic matter and end its life. So, let's be clear. Guns are fun. I like shooting them, but also they should be treated with the seriousness that it deserves. So, yeah. Don't know what else to say about that other than, holy shit, let's reduce the number of guns that are in the fucking streets a little bit, please. Jesus, Lord mercy. No, we can't, though, because guess what? Guess what, guys? Gun manufacturing industry makes a lot of fucking money selling guns, okay? So we can't do that. If an industry is viable in this nation, okay, if it's one of the remaining industries, the last manufacturing industries, if it has a lot of output, if it's making a lot of money, if it's greasing the wheels of Congress adequately, you will never get any kind of restriction on commerce, okay? That's not how America works. Doesn't matter if every single toddler has a fucking gun and they're shooting their parents in the head, okay? It's just not going to happen. This is also part of the reason why I said, hey, chatters, you didn't really miss much if you didn't watch me 5 years ago, because this is exactly what I was saying 5 fucking years ago. And I keep repeating myself because these problems persist. They only get worse. And on top of that, there are no solutions. So fear not. Probably in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years, if I'm still around, if I haven't died, I will most likely still be talking about the same exact shit. Yes, but back then you had more optimism? Not really. Maybe a little bit more optimism. I don't know. Let's continue.
She entered the school through a side entrance and traversed her way from the first floor to the second floor, firing multiple shots. We now know that there are 3 students who were fatally wounded, as well as 3 adults inside the school. We are working to identify those victims, including the shooter. A total of 7 persons were killed
David Franz, thank you for the 10
this
gifted.
morning's incident at the school. By 10:27, the shooter was deceased. The officers had engaged the shooter by 10:27, and she was deceased. Again, I said the first call came in at 10:13 this morning. We'll have more details to give you later in the morning. Chief Drake will be here in a bit. Now, Kendra Loney from Nashville Fire.
One thing I got to say, every time this happens, we've seen the song and dance, okay? Copy and paste. If the shooter is white, we talk about how it's a lone, it's just a dude having a bad day. If the shooter is black, which is rare, more rare, especially when it comes to school shootings, even though it does happen, the media doesn't even cover it all that much. Like, let's be real, okay? We talk about the violent ideology behind white shooters' behavior, depending on which outlet you're looking at, or there's a normalization of said violence depending on like the right-wing outlets that you're looking at, and vice versa when you're talking about it for other shooters from other backgrounds. And then you have a perspective on like who the individual is, because we have no way of looking at systemic issues in this country, okay? No way. Like, obviously, personal ideology matters, especially if someone has, like, written a manifesto or some shit. But ultimately, regardless of all of these other tangible, all of these other variables that change no matter what happens, the one thing that is the constant is that America has too many guns in circulation. And that is never going to fucking change because the gun manufacturers make too much goddamn money, and Americans don't have any cultural signifiers that they can associate with, whether it be in their labor, whether it be in their hobbies, because they have no time for fucking hobbies other than eating jalapeno poppers at Applebee's. So all of our cultural signifiers revolve around our consumption, and guns are a commodity that we consume and make a part of our identity associated with the Second Amendment. Associations with the Second Amendment and the defense of the Second Amendment is like seen as a foundational cultural signifier for millions of Americans. And that is the populist reason as to why it's very difficult to pass any sort of gun legislation, but the material reason as to why there's so much difficulty passing any sort of gun control is because gun manufacturers make a lot of money. Okay. But yeah, what is this? You have to see this insane, extremely unusual for a female to do something like this, almost unheard of. What is he saying? Is he saying that like, wait, what? Is the implication that the woman is trans or something? Like, I don't see, this is what I don't understand. Like, first of all, I don't know. I don't know anything about the fucking details. But why the fuck did he go? Why is that the first place he goes to? Like, it's like, in my mind, I imagine it's trans. First of all, it's not that fucking unusual when you think about, I mean, it is very unusual statistically speaking, but a mass shooting happened in YouTube headquarters, and that was a cis woman. You know what I mean? Like, get up to date with your motherfucking mass shootings, brother. Come on. I know it happens a lot, but, cis women have done mass shootings before. I like that we're, again, at this point, just doing fucking transvestigations. You know, that's where we're at. That's where we're at this point. That, like, immediately, Matt Walsh automatically hits the, yeah, it's classic. Is the same way how any bad thing happened for 3 years or longer after 9/11, dipshit pundits would be asking if it was Muslims. They didn't just have Twitter quite yet, but to be this quick with it, yeah. Is this not the first teenage girl? No, she's not a teenager. She's 28. But let me explain something. I don't know any of the details about this woman, but let's say she's trans, right? Okay. There are fucking trans people in other countries. Why the fuck are they not doing mass shootings? Also, it's hilarious to fucking even immediately say, like, oh, all trans people are capable of mass shooting when, you know, incredibly marginalized community. And, like, this would be the first. It would be historic if that was the case. Yeah, Brenda Spencer, the I Hate Mondays girl, and the San Bernardino shooter was female. Oh, yeah, San Bernardino was a couple. True. Anyway, regardless, this is actually turfy in the sense that this would also be like implying that a trans woman is not a woman but a man, and then also simultaneously saying only men do this kind of cruel, violent thing, which is like very rad libby for Matt Walsh. But again, conservatives love picking and choosing politics whenever they're covering other issues in an effort to deflect. It's never coming from a reasonable, grounded perspective. Don't even know why we're addressing this until more details come out. I guess like it's technically at this stage as it stands misinformation. But that's the difference between me and Matt Walsh is that I don't fucking know. I don't know any of the details. I'm not going to sit here and immediately speculate that it must be a trans woman, especially when like there is no precedent for that at all. It's just the precedent in his mind is just the hypothetical, like it's just his hatred. It's crazy. He didn't say anything like that, Lamau. Did you receive my donation? Would you like to read it just for yourself? What? Look at this cringe photo, yikes. David Franz, where did you get this beautiful shirt? I would like to buy a similar one. Can you briefly sneak advertising for it? The shirt is Xanarobe. It's a Xanarobe shirt. There's no way you're going to find it. It's like super old. I don't think they sell it anymore. This is like almost a 10-year-old shirt. So if you go 10 years back in time, you can perhaps find the shirt. Xanarobe, which is like an Australian brand. Okay. Wearing a 10-year-old shirt? Okay, stop. All right, let's cover the fucking details of this and let's continue.
Fire department crews are dispatched for active shooter incidents as well, for medical support, but also for an RTF response, which is a rescue task force response to go in alongside of MNPD response. Our crews were right there on the scene to provide medical aid to any survivors.
You're not being very charitable with that Matt Walsh tweet? Wait, yeah, of course I'm not being very charitable to a guy who says he's a theocratic fascist. Suck my dick, dude. Fucking literally melt yourself, okay? Just inside of a Minecraft lava pit if you think that I should be charitable with Matt Walsh. Suck my fucking cock from the back. Suck my fucking cock from the front. After your mom is done with it, you fucking piece of shit. Are you out of your mind? Did you just say I'm uncharitable to literally a fucking stochastic terrorist? Not only that, but also an annoying one. Like, he's not even cool. Are you out of your fucking mind? Like, that's insane. Be more charitable to the violent transphobe. No, he's too cowardly to fucking say this is probably a trans woman, but I'm pretty sure that's what he's alluding to, okay? Especially when he has like an entire fucking following that is comprised of people. Here, let's take a look at his charitability. Female or female. Anyway, how does one suck a cock from the back? I'm genuinely curious. I just pull back. I'm pull down and pull my penis to the back. They do this every single time there's a fucking mass shooting. Should this person not turn out to be trans? Matt Walsh will still use to spew anti-woman sentiments. I don't even know. I don't even fucking know. I don't even know if this is a trans woman or a cis woman. The authorities originally said it was a teenager, and she's not. You know what I mean? She's like 28 years old. It's really fucked up. It's called tromboning. It's an expert level sex move. Chatter's mom can enlighten them. Thank you. Exactly. Didn't they say the Uvalde shooter was trans before more info came out? They said the Uvalde shooter was trans before more information came out. There was another guy, there was another shooter. I remember there was like 2 mass shootings that have occurred in the past year where they immediately said the shooter's trans, the shooter's trans, this is a trans person. They always do that shit. Bro, they tried to allude to that Highland Park. Yeah, Highland Park. They tried to allude to the fucking Q nightclub shooter being trans at first. What do you mean? Even when the fucking mass shooting is happening at a queer space, they still implied or tried to imply that the fucking shooter was trans, okay? They say that literally every single time.
But also be there for victims so that we could try life-saving efforts in this case. So we went in as soon as it was safe for our responders to do so, to try to provide life-saving efforts for those that were impacted by this incident and this tragedy. Our crews were able to be on scene to pull out those that had viable signs of life, those that were still showing the option to be saved, and we did make transport of 3 individuals and 3 children, and then 2 adults that were taken.
Let him cook before Let him cook before we clap him.
Our crews then set up a reunification unit. That reunification unit is at 2100 Woodmont Boulevard. That's where parents can go to be reunited with their children. All of the remaining students were able to be escorted out of the building with faculty and staff. We're not sure about the processes that they had in place, but we were on scene to help them mitigate anyone from seeing exactly what else was going on, but we're sure that they heard the chaos that was surrounding this. So we do have mental health specialists and professionals that are at that reunification site for both the students and the families that are going to be.
This is a good take. Before the right called all shooters trans, they claimed they were Antifa. Before they claimed they were all Antifa, they claimed they were BLM. And before they claimed they were BLM, they would claim that they were Muslims. Like, that's it. That's just whoever the right-wing enemy is, whoever like the invisible enemy is, the right will always universally claim that enemy is doing the fucking violence and atrocities. Ironic because statistically speaking, it is almost always like not always, but almost always a right-wing person, like a far-right anti-government extremist. My 3-year-old niece goes to Covenant. We finally got word that she's safe and accounted for, but what the fuck? Fuck all the Tennessee government officials who will be sending their thoughts and prayers today, and especially fuck Andy Ogles. Oh yeah, you want to see you guys? I wonder if this is a problem with trans people, which by the way, the shooter we don't know anything about yet. Okay, but or I wonder if this has something to do with it. Hold on one second. Let me just take a quick gander here. Oh, that's Mayor Andy Ogles in 2022 Merry Christmas. The Ogles family. The very atmosphere of firearms anywhere and everywhere restrains evil interference. They deserve a place of honor, and that's all good. Yeah. Yeah, the schools have side doors. Breaking, Metro Police say the 28-year-old female shooter was a former student of the Covenant School in Nashville. Not advocating for guns, but the only argument I see you use all the time is to ban them. I've literally never said ban all guns. Like, these words have never come out of my fucking mouth. I've literally never said these things. It's just, I only hear it from people who come here and tell me that that's what I'm saying. And then I end up doing this like literal 40-minute fucking rant over and over again about how the problem is that there are too many fucking guns on the streets, too many guns in circulation. I almost always talk about how I like shooting guns. I shoot guns. I've shot guns on camera. I've had my friends shoot guns. Like, I don't know what else I need to do. Do I need to fuck a gun? Do I need to bring my gun out? Is that what I need to do? Just have the gun like fucking Steven Crowder on the desk so people, lizard brain dipshits, can be like, oh, maybe he likes guns. Like, I know you misinterpreted it. It's not your fault. I'm popping off on you because it's like the anger that I fucking feel towards like every single motherfucker that comes in here and goes like, oh, yeah, Hasan, classic liberal, fucking wants to stop me from fucking my gun. No, the only thing I want to stop is you from seeing the top of the hour ad break, okay? Which comes at the top of the fucking hour every hour. And if you no longer want to see those ads, a gun's not going to stop you. But what will stop you is a good guy with a subscription. A $5 a month subscription or a free one in the form of a Twitch Prime will allow you to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. You can also get gifted a sub if you're lucky. Here is the 3-minute ad break now. You did not see that one coming. That was a good one. You already know. Dazarin and Junior Turtle, thank you for the 10 gifted subs each, allowing 20 people to no longer see the ads. Sakura Gore with a 50 gifted subs, allowing 50 people to no longer see the ads. Holy fuck, dude. Brandon's America and recession is not hitting some of these gifters. Yeah, shouts out to Sakura Gore and Kolga Golga, the resident good guys with the credit card. Top 5. Lels, thank you for the 5 get the subs. Kami Call, thank you for the 50 get the subs. Synchronized 76, thank you for the 5 get the subs. I don't know why people are just fucking going crazy with the gift subs lately. I don't know what's happening. There's just been odd. It was a good day for the stock market. Hasan's femboy masseuse, thank you for the 5 get the subs. Synchronized 76, thank you for the 5 get the subs. Let's continue this.
Affected by this today. Our OEM units were able to provide buses to make transport from the Covenant School to the reunification site. We had one bus that carried 74 students and faculty staff members to the reunification site, and an additional bus that had 34 students on them. So all of those persons were carried. It was difficult for us to kind of identify who was just there as part of staff for the church versus who was there for the school, because it's all housed in one building. But at this time, we were able to get that number of persons transported out of the building and into that reunification site. So that is where parents can go to be reunited with their students. There is a hotline being set up for parents to call, but right now that is where they should go, 2100 Woodmont Boulevard, which is Woodmont Baptist Church. Additionally, we do have a debriefing site set up for on-staff or personnel who are working this incident, and there are mental health professionals set up there for them as well. There was one police officer that was injured with a hand injury as a result of making an attack on this incident. But other than that, there have been no additional injuries to first responders or personnel responding to.
I never, like, the worst part about, like, police briefings like this is just that, like, they use so much neutral language. It's just on autopilot. that like I have learned absolutely nothing from this. You know what I mean? They always use passive voice, like, and it's just like, bro, just use normal language. Like, I feel like even in this instance, like this is supposed to be like a positive moment for the cops. Just explain it with like real terms, okay? No one's gonna be like, wow, it's really fucked up that cops like shot a shooter. You know what I mean? Everyone's gonna say it's great, good. I just want to understand what the fuck's going on, but it's like in the tactical apprehension, a logistical shrapnel entered the fray on one of our law enforcement officers and immediately made a kinetic contact with the hand of an officer. And it's like, what the fuck? She's fire department? Doesn't matter. They all do the same shit. The threat was effectively neutralized. It's like, bro, just fucking use the normal thing. I need to understand.
To this, and as Don mentioned earlier, we will have further updates coming later on in the afternoon.
So on a typical day, there would be about 209 students inside the school and approximately 40 to 50 staff members, about 42 staff members.
Big boy gamer man, thank you for the 10 gifted subs.
Before we go back.
Clear. So the 7 dead, and then the nature of injuries, how many injured do you know? That you're being treated still, or injuries? I know first responders were.
An officer had a wound from cut glass. That is the only other injury.
Yeah, see, they asked. Okay, there you go. They literally like, what does that mean? Like, what happened to the cop? Can you please use like human terms and speak plainly?
That I'm aware of.
Do we know if the injuries to the students are critical or do we know the condition?
The 3 students are deceased. The 3 students who were shot are deceased. 3 staff members who were shot are deceased. That's a total of 6 victims. And then you have the shooter who was engaged by 2 of our police officers, part of a 5-member team, and she is deceased for a total of 7 individuals. There are no other gunshot victims, non-lethal, that I'm aware of at present.
Do you know how many people were shot? Do you know how many people were shot before the police engaged the shooter?
No.
Do you know if they shot anyone after they engaged the shooter? Do you know if the shooter was able to shoot anyone else?
We do not know who she is at this juncture. We're trying to identify her. She does appear to be in her teens.
That's not true. She's not. She's 28 years old.
2 assault-type rifles and at least 1 pistol.
Do we know if there are any lives or previous recent incidents that police have come to the school with a church?
No, I'm not.
Was there an SRO or an SSO working at the school?
No, this is a church that operates a private school. There was no Metro Police person.
Yeah, some of the unique aspects of this mass shooting is that it's in a relatively wealthy neighborhood. It's a relatively wealthy school. I believe it's like expensive to actually go there. So that part is actually unique. The other unique aspect of this, of course, is that it is a female shooter. So that is also unique. Not a teen, but this is a religious private institution. It's a Christian school. That and also the mass shooter is the school shooter in this circumstance is not a teenager, but a 28-year-old female. So those are some of the unique aspects.
That building at any time.
From what I understand, yes, they've also confirmed that she was a former student at the Covenant School in Nashville. Okay, is this the first time a school shooter was a female? I don't know. I mean, I know that there have been female mass shooters, but maybe I don't know if there's been a female school shooter. I guess there has been. Oh, Brenda Spencer. The Cleveland Elementary School shooting was a school shooting that took place on January 29th, 1979 at Grover Elementary School in San Diego, California. The principal and custodian were murdered. 8 children and police officer Robert Robb were injured. A 16-year-old girl, Brenda Spencer, who lived in a house across the street from the school, was convicted of the shootings. Yeah. But like 1979 is the first and last time. Back in the 80s, there was another girl. School shooting by a cis woman. University of Alabama Huntsville shooting. 3 people were killed and 3 others wounded in a shooting in Alabama Huntsville during a routine meeting of the biology department attended by approximately 12 people. Amy Bishop, a biology professor at the university, began shooting those nearest with a Ruger P95 handgun. Check the motive on the previous one. Is Brenda's she injured 8 children. She became a 9-year-old. She also killed a 56-year-old custodian for their casualties. Spencer told the reporter she has shot at the school children and adults because I don't like Mondays. This livens up the day. That's what she said. This is the I don't like Mondays shooting. America, baby. Listen, you don't like Mondays? You have ease of access to Arsenal. You know, you just liven it up that way. We'll get to the GOP congressman, by the way, who also has his own very George Santos style resume padding. GOP congressman accused of lying on resume faces questions over $25,000 of funds for a child burial garden. The only person willing to back up Andy Ogle, who we just showed you, was the Fox News publishes in okay, so here we'll look through all the female shootings and school shootings and mass shootings. I was wrong to say this is unique, I guess, because nothing is unique in America. Obviously, everything, especially when it comes to mass shootings, is not going to be unique. Everyone from all walks of life, from all backgrounds, all creeds, all fucking shapes and sizes will engage in a little bit of fun because that's what America is about. You know what I mean? So, statistically, it's unique. However, we are a uniquely fucked up nation. So, uncommon is the word, yeah.
No, there are a total of 3 adults. 3 adults who have been fatally wounded.
Okay, one of them being the shooter?
No.
Okay, 3 total.
So let me go over this again. You have a total of 6 victims, 3 students who are deceased, and 3 adult staff members from the school who are deceased. The shooter herself makes 7.
Do you know if one of the 3 adults maybe confronted her?
I do not.
Are they teachers?
There is video from the school that we are viewing now to try to learn exactly how all of this happened.
Can you say where the victims were located? Were they in the hallway, in a classroom?
I cannot at this juncture. As you know, 5 of the 6 were transported. So we will get that information later in the day.
Did police engage with the shooter inside a classroom or in the hallway in that location?
It is an upper level part of the school. It's kind of a lobby type area. It was not in a classroom per se.
Okay. Before we move away from this story, obviously, I don't know if there is any additional details that we can talk about. If my kids got to do shooter drills at school, then your little chuckle fuck offspring can learn some new pronouns, for fuck's sake. That's an odd thing to bring up. But here was one aspect of the Fox News coverage, which has been wonderful to say the least. Of course, Fox News is always the number one news outlet to go to whenever a fucking mass shooting happens, because that's where you learn what the talking points are. That's what you're going to hear from your most annoying relatives for the next fucking week or so until another mass shooting happens and we forget about it. You know what I mean? So it's always cool to see what Fox News' fair and balanced news coverage is going to be on an issue that they have literally personally played a role in. And what I mean by that, of course, is they have played a role in basically defending the cruelty of everyday American existence, including, guns being readily available for everyone in circulation without significant background checks or anything like that, and also the fear mongering. Let's watch.
Tired of covering this? Aren't you guys tired of being here and having to cover all of these mass shootings? I'm from Highland Park.
There it is.
Family vacation with my son, visiting my sister-in-law. I have been lobbying in D.C. since we survived a mass shooting in July. I have met with over 130 lawmakers. How is this still happening? How are our children still dying, and why are we failing them? Gun violence is the #1 killer of children and teens. It has over...
Like, it's literally worse than fucking cars. Like, that's insane to me. That more children in the United States of America die to fucking guns than they do to car accidents. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. That's so insane. That's America. That's fucking America, baby. That's America.
Overtaken cars. Assault weapons are contributing to the border crisis and fentanyl. We are arming cartels with our guns and our loose gun laws. And these shootings and these...
Oh my God. Dude, this is how you get, like, because it's so commonplace, like this kind of shit is so commonplace that you literally have like random moms that happen to be nearby when a mass shooting occurs be able to spit out like actual genuine systemic issues at this point. Through repetition, every mom is like, I'm a lobbyist as well now. Like I'm individually lobbying Congress. It's crazy.
These mass shootings will continue to happen until our lawmakers step up and pass gun safety legislation. I'm pretty sure this was an unsecured weapon that this teenager got a hold of. We can't even pass gun safety, like safe storage laws in this country to protect kids from getting a hold of weapons that they shoot each other with.
All right, so we're going to break away there because that...
Okay, first of all, for the people saying she's not a concerned citizen, she's a lobbyist, true, except what you need to understand is there's a difference between Fox News or any other news outlet going to a lobbyist deliberately and then making them seem like a conservative or a concerned parent versus literally someone who is right there. Like, it's not like... Brother, she was right. She was there when it happened. Okay? Like, that's the difference. It's not like this was a week later and then CNN called her in and was like, here's a concerned parent without like any kind of like background information that they offer. Like, she was just there on vacation. Like, she wasn't, you know, George Soros didn't know that a mass shooting was going to happen and then sent a fucking anti-gun, lobbyist into, like an activist, let's say. Lobbyist is not the best term for this because lobbyist, even though you can lobby Congress without like being a part of a industry, like a viable industry that you're getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to do that lobbying. It just means like you could be an activist and you're lobbying Congress. The act of lobbying is different. But everyone immediately rushes and thinks like, oh, she's getting paid like hundreds of thousands of dollars a year as a lawyer to like fucking write legislation. That's not how that works. Wait, what? Oh, she was literally in Highland Park. She was a Highland Park parade mass shooting survivor who went to vacation in Nashville and ended up next to another mass shooting. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. Dude, this is literally, this kind of shit happens because mass shootings are so fucking commonplace. But because it's so commonplace and it happens every now and then, that people will literally be like, oh, this is a false flag. Like the psychotic Republicans will look to stuff like this and not recognize how commonplace this problem is, not recognize the severity of the problem it implies, but instead think, oh, how convenient, it's definitely fake. That is mind-boggling to me. It's like when that other school shooting that happened in college. Which university was it? I can't even remember. That happens so frequently. It happens at every fucking college where like a bunch of, MSU, right? It was at Michigan State. Michigan State University mass shooting featured multiple people that had survived a prior mass shooting. at that point. You're just dodging fucking bullets. My cousin was in Oxford and his best friend too, and his friend was in MSU too, and they got a bunch of harassment for literally surviving twice. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, my husband thinks most of them are false flag operations. How the hell do I convince him otherwise, Hasan? That is so terrifying. Hasan's rejected FOIA request. I'm sorry to say, I genuinely don't know how to talk to someone who like literally thinks that that's like, okay, chat, stop saying divorce, okay? I don't know how to talk to someone who's like so firmly grounded in their delusions. Like, that's crazy. Everybody shut the fuck up. Stop saying divorce. Jesus Christ. Yeah, 14-year-old chatters being like, without any knowledge of the situation at hand, being like, just divorce, dude. Yeah, okay, thanks, guys. Anyway.
Reporter who was using that camera is obviously setting up to do a live report there, but the woman...
Yeah, that's why they broke away from the footage.
We can't even pass gun safety, like safe storage laws in this country to protect kids from getting a hold of weapons that they shoot each other with.
All right, so we're going to break away there because that reporter who was using that camera is obviously setting up to do a live report there. But the woman said it quite succinctly. Aren't you tired of this? Yes, we are tired of this.
We need to consider an automatic death penalty for school shooters, says Rick Scott. Life in prison is not enough for the deranged monsters to go into our schools and kill innocent kids and educators. Yeah, Rick, they already do get death sentence. They either kill themselves half the fucking time or someone shoots them. That hasn't stopped motherfuckers from doing school shootings, dumbass. Like, what do you mean? The fuck do you mean? Dude, it's so stupid. No one's going, oh, I'm going to do a school shooting, but wait, hold on. Oh, no, the harshest penalty is a death sentence. I guess I'm going to be deterred from doing a school shooting now. You and other demons like you are the first to say every mass school shooting or every mass shooting suspect or every school shooting suspect is a mentally ill person. There's truth to that, okay? That doesn't address any of the actual underlying issues, but there's fucking some truth to that. You say it all the fucking time. Why the fuck do you think that's going to stop anybody? It's ironic because, like, it literally fucking says, look at this. The suspect who had multiple weapons also died after being shot by the police. Like, it says it right here. It says it in the it says in the tweet that he quote retweeted that the suspect is dead. What are you going to do? Kill the corpse? Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. Here. Anyway, the lady that Fox News immediately fucking panned away from is talking to CNN here.
I'm from Highland Park, Illinois. I was actually in town just on vacation, but I'm a mass shooting survivor. My son and I survived a mass shooting in Highland Park where there was a shooting at a parade that we were at. We ran for our lives. And this is just...
By the way, remember, when like progressive advocates become like, activists or advocates that speak to Congress, it's usually because like they survive the fucking mass shooting. When right-wingers become concerned parents and set up lobbying shops, it's like, I'm a concerned parent because I saw a gay person at school. Like, understand the difference between, Christian moms for the eradication of homosexuality versus like, I survived a mass shooting and I think we should have some gun control. Okay? Just remember that shit.
Unacceptable. It's only in America can somebody survive a mass shooting and then go on vacation to visit another person that they have met through, fighting for gun safety and find themselves at another involved like near another mass shooting. Like only, you know what I mean? Like only in America does this happen, where we keep seeing this again and again and again. You know, only in America does her son survive a mass shooting and then, you know, end up in a lockdown school because there is another mass shooting.
Yeah.
This is an epidemic. Gun violence is an epidemic, and it needs to be resolved. It needs to be addressed.
When you hear about it happening at a school again, what goes through your head?
I mean, for me, the statistics start running. Like, it's likely this gun was purchased legally. It's likely it was not stored properly, and a child took it. I heard that it might have been a child, a sixth grader. I mean, just how preventable this is, how preventable these incidences are, how we should pass gun safety legislation and lock up weapons and, you know, put require background checks on every single gun purchase, ban assault.
Everything that she said is wrong, by the way, as far as like, we don't know anything about the how the weapon was acquired or anything, but we do know that the shooter wasn't a young girl. She was 28 years old and was a former student at the school as well.
Weapons, and until we.
Having kids in school makes my anxiety go through the fucking roof. Having panic attacks purely out of fear or unknown shit fucking sucks. I mean, remember, in this country, the number one child killer is not fucking cars, as is the case in many other places, which is understandable, you know, due to how dangerous vehicles are, okay? It's guns. It's guns. It's not obesity, it's guns. A 12-year-old, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens with obesity, maybe. We'll see. Number one child killer is abortion. Hell yeah, brother. It's not fentanyl and Halloween candy. It's guns. Would adopting a harsher penalty system like Japan has for pettier crimes and be help deter people from doing worse crimes? As much as I hate to say it, I don't feel like America really punishes anyone from doing crime. That is an insane take, man. I'm going to be as charitable as possible to you because I feel like you're maybe a little misinformed, but maybe your heart's in the right place. But you are out of your mind, brother. America is the most punitive carceral state on the fucking planet. We currently house 25% of the entire planet's prisoner population. You understand? It doesn't get any worse. There is no, like, there are so many fundamental problems with the way that our carceral state operates. We have a quarter of the entire planet's prisoner population of this country. We still have slave labor in this country, in our prison system. We have private prison facilities, which no other fucking nation has because they find it to be morally abhorrent. Like, it is demonstrably, it is demonstrably a failure. It is a massive failure when it comes to being an adequate deterrence. Time and time again, the broken windows policing concept has been owned, okay, through studies and through data. That's number one. Time and time again, we have found out that countries with significantly better prisoner populations or significantly better treatment of their prisoners have higher levels of integration into society once these convicts are done serving their prison sentence. It's just like we are literally a police state with the worst prison system, one of the worst prison systems on the fucking planet. UK has private prisons too. I apologize. UK, which is wannabe United States, also has private prisons. If you want to abolish crime, it's pretty simple. Literally look at all of the examples. If you want to abolish crime, it's not that hard. If you want to eviscerate crime, you don't make it harsher, which we have in America. You look at the root cause of crime. And this is not a new idea. This is not a unique idea. It's not novel. It's been discussed and pontificated endlessly since fucking ancient Greece, okay? It's poverty. Poverty creates a cycle of crime. Okay? That's it. That's it. There is no easier solution. fuck? The only deterrent for this shit is stricter gun laws. Heavier punishments ain't gonna do shit. Guns, not just from mass shootings, but from carelessness and accessibility where children are hurting children accidentally firing them. Yes, of course. Lies. Criminals make crimes. Lamount. True. Rich people can still murder people. I never said that like murder will be entirely eradicated. I am not a complete, I'm not in the business of like full-blown abolition, okay? I never have been. I don't advocate for that. I tell you that there are still going to be certain things that modern medicine still has no capabilities of solving, like antisocial personality disorder related crimes, things of that nature, okay? Rape is still going to happen. Racism is still